No one directly involved in the case has been willing to speak with me on camera. That includes the Middleton Police Department and the attorneys for the children's father, Sadale Lacey Robinson. Dane County's Department of Human Services, the agency that oversaw the case, as of now, has stopped responding to my interview requests. What I do have is a trail of documents spanning 5 years. It shows this family was well known to law enforcement and to Child Protective Services. It begins back in 2019 on April 6th. That's the first report we obtained from Middleton Police. It details a domestic disturbance and welfare check at 6303 Maywood Avenue, a home that would become the scene of a double murder-suicide 5 years later. It was the home of Jessica Jessman and her 2 kids, 8-year-old Maya and 5-year-old Major. The report details a troubled relationship between Jessica and the children's father, Sadale Lacey Robinson. Nearly 2 pages of that police report are text messages from Jessica to Sadale. These are some of them. Your kids are dead. They're dead now, and it's all your fault. I'll be long gone with the bodies. If you want your kids to live, you better answer me. I told you not to cheat on me, but you didn't listen. This is the last time you will ever see these kids alive. Jessica later told an officer she only said those things to hurt Sadale, something Sadale told the officer she'd done before.
Hi, this is Megan Carpenter again with Spectrum News 1.
After multiple calls and several email exchanges, as of this report, no one from Dane County Department of Human Services has agreed to an interview. But according to documents, the agency screened out a report from Child Protective Services the same day as that police report.
Screened out means we documented the information that the caller told us, but we did not respond to that situation.
Sarah Henry with Wisconsin's Department of Children and Families provides some context. She oversees Milwaukee Child Protective Services.
We receive here like 15,000 calls a year. We actually only go out and investigate about 6,500 of them.
From 2017 to 2023, Dane County Human Services screened out 4 CPS reports related to the Middleton case. It screened in 5 reports, meaning a caseworker did respond to the situation. Of those 5, the agency found alleged child neglect to be substantiated once.
To substantiate something is basically saying, I have gathered information, I've talked to all the relevant sources of information that I can get, and I think it is more likely than not that this child was abused or neglected. So substantiation is not about risk of abuse or neglect. Substantiation is about actual abuse and neglect.
But the substantiated report from December 2019 poses its own questions. That case was eventually closed because something called the Child in Need of Protection or Services Dispositional Order expired. It's sometimes referred to as CHIPS.
The petition for protection and services is really the formal petition that says we need a court case open so that this family can get court-ordered services to help support them being able to care for their kids at home. Those always have an expiration date on them.
Sarah says the order typically expires for one of 2 reasons. Either all parties agree that court oversight is no longer needed, or an extension is never properly filed.
It's typically the agency and the attorney prosecuting the CHIPS case that file extensions.
Fast forward to September 11th, 2023. Another police report details more claims of unsettling text messages. In the report, the officer says dispatch got an anonymous call saying Jessica texted Sadale that she wanted to kill herself and the kids. The caller said the text was along the lines of, quote, "You made it really easy. It's done." Jessica told the officer, quote, she had no plan to hurt herself or her kids. No further action was taken. Just over a month later, on October 18th, police checked on Jessica again. The report says she admitted to past suicide attempts and drug use, revealing 2 attempted overdoses in the 3 weeks prior. Jessica was also concerned about losing custody of her kids, the report says, if any information got back to Child Protective Services. According to the documents, the officer did report the interaction to CPS. That same day, Dane County Human Services screened in a CPS report alleging neglect of the children by Jessica. The agency found the claim to be unsubstantiated, and the case was closed. Exactly 4 months later, police say Jessica shot and killed her 2 children and then herself.
Are there instances where families in need just fall through the cracks?
Are there situations where probably a caseworker was supposed to do something and they did not? I'm sure that happens because it's a human business with human people, and there is no exact science. There is no I get it right 1,000% of the time, and I think that's a generally unfair expectation that society puts on people who do this work.
A federal investigation reveals more about this case. As a convicted felon, Jessica could not purchase a gun. According to federal court records, her friend and neighbor, Shauna Tantillo, illegally bought it for her just over 2 months before authorities believe Jessica used it to kill herself and her kids. The documents say Jessica told Shauna she wanted the gun, quote, because she was going to put herself in dangerous situations and she wanted to protect herself. Dale's family walked into federal court in Madison last November to learn Shauna's fate. She's now serving 18 months in jail. A pile of evidence that leads to more questions. Questions like, were more preventative measures possible to help this family avoid an unthinkable tragedy? We have been told that a legal claim has been submitted against the city of Middleton. That's according to the police department's public information officer. I did reach out to the attorney representing the city. So far, I have not yet heard back. In the studio, Megan Carpenter, Spectrum News.